Hello, good morning, student. Today we are going to learn about Telnet. Let us see something about the Telnet. First of all, we have to understand what is the Telnet. Basically, the full form of Telnet is Telecommunications Network, or you can say that it is abbreviation for Terminal Network. This is basically a standard TCP/IP protocol for virtual terminal service. So, what is the virtual terminal service? For example, if you want to access your file folder and you are sitting at the remote locations, in that case, you have to access those files. Therefore, we need a terminal through which we can access those file and folders, and you can use for your work. Therefore, we use Telnet service, which is basically used for accessing the file and folder for remote connections. It is basically, you can say, the general purpose client server application programs. So the purpose of Telnet is to establish a connection between the remote systems such that you can access all the file and folder from the remote systems. So for connecting the remote systems, you need a remote login ID. So how you can log in the your computer system when you are sitting far away from the different area, and of course there is the geographical barrier to access your file and folders. In that case, we use Telnet service. So let us see the what is Telnet. We have seen that basically it's a protocol for creating connection with remote machines over TCP/IP network. I repeat, it is basically a protocol for creating a connection with remote machines over a TCP/IP network. So therefore, we can say that it's a remote access protocols. Remote access protocols. Now see, for accessing the remote systems, what we need to do? You need to do first. You have to give the log username, password, and after that, when you give the username password, they will give access to access the telnet server. Then and thereafter you can use for your own purpose. So the login process are of two types. One is the logging, local logging, and other is the remote logging. For the local logging, what is this local logging? The user logging into a local systems. This is called local logging. And when a user is a logging into remote machines, then it is called a remote loggings. So when the user want to access their application program or utility, whatever they required, they will use this service, and this is known as remote logging. So the login is two types. One is the local logging, and next is the remote logging. Okay, fine. Question is that why do we need Telnet? So basically, we need Telnet to access remote machines over the internet. Therefore, internet facility, internet connection is very much important. And when the connection is established, then and thereafter we can access all my file and folders. So because of this, we can use it. Here, what is what are the different steps that we are using uh, to access our file and folders or other things? Let us see. There is the application programs, your terminal, and operating system which is in your computer systems. So we have to set up a connections. One, we can say the telnet client, and other is telnet server. And for this you need authentications. Authentication means what? You have to give your username and password, which is sent to the server. When it is sent, then it will verify the username password. If it is correct, then they will give you the authorized access to the system. Now let us see how it's happened. One thing more, when the login is done, definitely then you can send the command through the keyboard. Send the command through the keyboard. Computer can understand only the text-based application because these things are used for basically CUI, command user interface. Nowadays, we are using for Windows operating systems. We are using for Mac operating system also. But basically, the telnet command is used in Unix and Linux operating systems. So this is very much important. We have to understand the different type of command through which we can access the file in folders. There is operating systems, and here you have to send all the request through the keystrokes, which is done by the keyboard. And when you send the anything command, then the terminal driver will access those commands. They will interpret your character into their server into their understanding language, which is understand by the server computer. Because whatever you character send, yeah, whatever things you have sent to the remote computer, they will not understand the things. For this, it is converted and communicated through remote computer. The connection is established between the telnet client and telnet servers, and this is only done through internet. Terminal driver is at the telnet client, and pseudo terminal driver is at the telnet server. Basically, the role of pseudo terminal is just convert the receiving character into more understandable forms, because the remote operating system is not designed to receive character from the telnet server. Basically, it is designed to receive character from the driver, terminal driver, and now the pseudo terminal is added, which pretend that the character are coming from the terminal. So this things build a NVT, network virtual terminal. That is, we have established a connection between telnet client and telnet server through internet. Basically, the telnet client are available for all the major operating systems. I have already told you right now that Mac operating system X, Windows, Unix, and Linux, and all are communication done by the command only. So we can learn till now that how the what is the telnets, how it's work, and what are the different things that we have to establish connection with the server. Now we are going to learn that how the data, how the server translate data and command through network virtual terminal. As I have told you, the server basically accept the character through terminal only. The server telnet translate data and command from NVT forms into the form accepted by the remote computer. For this, we use two set of character. One is for data connection, other for control connection. For data connection, that your file and folder which is accessed by you. And for the control connection, what is that? The exchange of command. For example, telnet client send their commands and telnet server also send their commands. For this, we need a control connections for proper sending and receiving of the command. So these are the two different sets, one for the data, other for the control connections. Telnet uses only one TCP connections. Remember these points. Basically, this connection is established for both sending data and control characters. Now, after this, there is some extra features which is available in Telnet. Basically, we have different options available to the users so as to establish a better communications. Here are the different options. Binary, it interprets 8-bit binary terminations. Echo, the data received on one side to others. Status, it requires the status of telnet. Terminal type, set the terminal types. Terminal speed, set the terminal speeds. And line mode, change to line mode. So these are the different options available over here. Next is the option negotiations. Telnet let the client and server negotiation options before or during the use of the service. Four control characters are available. One is the will, which means offering to enable, accepting request to enables. Second, won't means rejecting a request to the enable, offering to disable, accepting request to disable. Third, do, approving an offer to enable, requesting to enable. And fourth is don't. That means it disapproving an offer to enable, approving an offer to disable, and third is requesting to disable. So these are the four control which is basically used during the transmission of file or folder. Let's see something more. Here is the different scenario which is given over here. There example of wills, do, don't, all things are included here. Here you can see the sender send the file and folder, receiver is receiving the file and folders. Or we can just say that receiver is here to accept the data or receive the data, a sender is here to send the data. So now the mode of operations. We talk about the mode of operation in Telnet. There are three different mode: default mode, character mode, line mode. Let us see one by one. One is default mode. Basically, this mode is used if no other mode are invoked. That means if nothing is invoked, whether character or line mode, in that case the default mode is invoked automatically. Echoing done by the client. That means each character is sent by client. User type the character, client echo the character, but does not send it unless and until the whole line is invoked and completed. Second mode is character mode. Here, each character is sent by the client to the server. The server echo the character back to the client, and after that, echo character can be displayed if the transmission time is long. So this is basically used in character mode only. Now in the line mode, so whatever the discrepancy between the default mode or the character mode, that is compensated in line mode. Here again the echoing done by the client. Client sends the phone line to the server. So these are the different things basically used. But what is the problem with the telnet? Basically, the telnet is not a secure things, because if you send the data or when you use the username password, then your data or your informations will be stored on the server. In that case, what is need to do? We need a secure connections, and for this we have to we are looking for the security. Telnet was uh, released in on 5th March 1969, but it is used basically brought into picture on 1973. Then and thereafter, we need a secure connection which is much more advanced, because the encryption is done from the server end, but decryption is not done. In secure connections, encryption and decryption play the major role. which hide the information from the hacker. So the secure cell SSH cell is more secure as compared to Telnet, but still we are using the Telnet for many gaming applications. If you want to use you want to play games, then you through Telnet you can play the game also. You can receive any information through the Telnet commands. For example, your weather forecastings. If you want to play any games, you can access anything, you can use the Telnet service. So this is all about Telnet, and in the next lecture we'll see some more things FTP, about the FTP, file transfer protocol. Thank you. Have a nice day, all of you.